The threat to the environment and wildlife cannot begin to be calculated, as growers consistently use banned pesticides and fertilizers for their illegal crops. Toxic chemicals harmful to the environment and wildlife are present at almost every outdoor grow operation. Water theft is occurring at an alarming rate, which has threatened the water supply for area residents in the eastern portion of the Antelope Valley. This also threatened the farmers who are operating in the area. The thefts occur from fire hydrants and unpermitted water wells that are being drilled on the grow sites. And they're also being stolen from the farmers themselves. Calculations estimate approximately 150 million gallons of water was utilized to bring the plants to harvest. That's just one harvest. There's 4 harvests a year, so do the math there. In 2020, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department served 76 search warrants, seized and destroyed 130,000 marijuana plants, and recovered over 1 ton of processed marijuana. We made 161 arrests and seized 60 firearms from illegal grows. Then in the early morning hours of Tuesday, June 8, 2021, the LA County Sheriff's Department and the United States Drug Enforcement Administration conducted a collaborative operation which took several weeks to prepare and over 1 week to take down multiple illegal marijuana grows in the unincorporated cities of Lancaster and in the Antelope Valley. With information received through public calls for service and multiple complaints from residents, this became the largest operation in the history of the LA County Sheriff's Department and was developed to put an end to the hundreds of illegal marijuana cultivations that are occurring in the Antelope Valley. This took over 400 personnel from multiple county departments within the Sheriff's Department and deputies from the Community Partnerships Bureau, Operation Safe Streets Bureau, detectives from Special Victims Bureau, obviously Narcotics Bureau, Lancaster and Palmdale Station deputies, then agents from the Drug Enforcement Administration, the California National Guard, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, and members from the Kern County Sheriff's Department, Riverside County Sheriff, San Bernardino County Sheriffs, and Ventura County Sheriffs all were part of this operation. The result of this operation, a total of 131 arrests were made. 65 vehicles were seized, including 2 water trucks. Approximately $28,000 in U.S. currency was seized, and this actually just turned out to be the payroll of the day for the growers themselves. It's not any amount for, obviously, for seizure and narcotics. That's just payroll. And marijuana worth millions of dollars was seized. Actually, now it's in the billions. The total marijuana plants that were seized was 372,000. And firearms were 33. The harvest of marijuana in pounds was over 33,000 pounds. That comes out to over 16 tons. And there was set 205 search warrants that were prepared. We were able to demolish 30 locations, and we seized 65 vehicles. We also rescued 180 animals. And water theft enforcement teams made arrests as well. They made 19 arrests. So estimated street value of this entire operation was $1.19 billion. And that is just an enormous amount. The success of the operation was possible because of the wide range of local, state, and federal agencies that collaborated and the information collected from countless investigation hours. We want to thank definitely the courageous people of the Antelope Valley and the community who stepped forward. They provided the tips and trusted our law enforcement efforts. So thank you to all the Antelope Valley city leaders, Supervisor Catherine Barger, the LA County Board of Supervisors, Representative Mike Garcia, Tom Lackey from the Assembly, William Fallon from the DEA's office, and the numerous other county, state, and federal law enforcement agencies for providing the support and entrusting the LA County Sheriff's Department. What we want to do is send a clear and loud message to the cartels and anyone doing an illegal operation in the high desert. Your days are over and we're coming for you. So with this, I want to do a quick, we can roll the thing here. We want to give a picture to what I've been just describing. This is part of the aerial reconnaissance that we were doing. As you can see from the air, this is very typical of every single one. This is one of the largest ones that we found on the very first day of the operation. That is about 10 acres, and that is 74 greenhouses. The cultivation, the value of this operation alone, one harvest is $50 million. And you can see here in the top corner, those are 2 RVs, and they built lean-tos covering the RVs, and that's where they were basically living. And each one of these harvests, these greenhouses, over 100 feet long. Inside the greenhouses, you see different colored tarps. These white tarps actually have a black interior, so they mimic day and nighttime, and that's how they get 4 harvests a year versus just 1 by natural daylight. And you can see every single one of the greenhouses had the capacity being flip over from daytime to nighttime to accelerate the growth rate. Each plant, 3 gallons per day per plant. So start doing the math here. You can see how this is basically sucking the water out of the entire desert dry, leaving our potato farmers, alfalfa, carrot farmers without water. So that definitely had to put an end to this. And then the trash associated with this, you see here these 2 tanks. Each one of these tanks is over 10,000 gallons. They filled by water trucks. This is a water truck that we intercepted at the time that we raided this place. And this thing right here, that and this over here, those are basically pesticide mixing sites. And they mix the pesticides there, or the fertilizers, and they pump it to all the greenhouses. And all the trash that gets associated with this is just dumped into the desert. And that all of that seeps into the aquifer, becomes part of the water table that contaminates the entire water supply for the high desert. So anybody believe that somehow this is, oh, it's just harmless, we legalize pot, what could go wrong with this? Well, yeah, we can see what could go wrong with this. Hit the next one. Again, one of the water trucks that we intercepted. Now keep going. And this, it was back-breaking work. The first week, weather was nice, but as Commander Holly Francisco back there can testify, the second week we got the true taste of the AV weather. It was up to, I think, what, 110 degrees? One of the days. It was pretty bad. We did our briefing in the morning. It was about 500 people there the first day of briefing, and that was quite a sight to see because represented all of law enforcement in Southern California came together for this occasion. And these are all the entities that were involved. And that was one of the arrests that were made. That was at the site of the 74 greenhouses. Weapons seized, bullets. And you wonder, why are these people armed? And we didn't meet any really resistance at all, because typically when we showed up one of the grows, everybody just took off into the desert running or they surrendered. We didn't get a lot of resistance. But this is designed for other cartels ripping off, so they're basically, there's no honor amongst thieves, so their biggest threat is being ripped off by other cartels stealing their harvest. Or it's also used to intimidate the local residents and scaring people away from approaching the grows. So that this is very dangerous, yes. Keep going. And yeah, these are the 5 puppies that they're still up for adoption. Very cute. They named them all, one was named after me, my wife, Sheriff, Sarge, and they called the mother Mary J for some reason. I can't figure that. And that's a reverse rescue. Ty, he's the one that stepped in to volunteer to arrange that for all the rescue. It was very nice of him. Okay, keep going. And this is the pesticide operation, or the herbicide. Very, very dangerous stuff. Toxic stuff that's being mixed and just literally dumped into the soil of the high desert. All right, keep going. And as a result of that, here we have 2 dead carcasses. And they're bears. Yeah, 2 dead bears were discovered. And this is all behind the pesticides used in the fertilizers. And the trash, that is very common. In summary, these are the big numbers right there. So this was just a down payment. That map there in the distance, that is all of the illegal grow sites. And the beauty of it is they can't hide. We can see them. We're going to come after them. It's hard work, but with the resources, we're going to get to all 100% of them. We got about 40% of them we addressed. We got 60% to grow. While we were doing the second week of the operation, the first week they were already trying to rebuild the grows. That's how financially the incentives are right now. So the 131 arrests, we had 22 felony arrests and 109 misdemeanor arrests. They've been presented to the district attorney for filing consideration. We do not have information yet on that. There's some tests that still have to be done and turned into the DA's office. However, when we have the information, we will present it publicly what the decision of the district attorney is, because that is extremely important. We've been very disheartened by the district attorney not filing on our cases for human trafficking when it comes to sex crimes and prostitution. And he's de facto legalized prostitution in LA County by not filing these cases. So now we're going to present this, and we're going to see what the district attorney is going to do. Hopefully, he'll do the right thing.